You feel like you're not fully in control of your own life. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a way that's easy to explain. You react faster than you want to. You snap at people you love, then regret it. You feel irritated, heavy, or numb without knowing why. On the outside, things may look fine. You function. You meet expectations. You get through the day. But inside, something feels off. Carl Jung believed this feeling is not random. He believed it's one of the clearest signals the psyche can send. A signal that something unconscious is running your life. Most people believe they are in control. Jung would say that belief is comforting, but false. He believed many of us are passengers, not drivers. Moved by emotional patterns we don't recognize. Driven by impulses we never learned to question. Reacting to life instead of choosing it. This isn't philosophy. It's psychology. And if you've ever felt like your life is happening to you instead of by you, this matters. Modern life trains us to wear masks. Carl Jung called this mask the persona. The persona is the version of you that functions in society. It's how you adapt, how you fit in, how you stay accepted. There's a persona for work, a persona for family, a persona for friendships, a persona for being fine. The persona is not fake. It's necessary. Without it, society wouldn't work. But Jung warned about a quiet danger. When you live through the persona for too long, you forget it's a mask. You stop asking what you feel. You start asking what is expected. You choose what looks right, not what feels true. Over time, something subtle happens. Your instincts weaken. Your inner signals grow quiet. Your sense of direction fades. You become good at functioning and bad at listening. This is how people become successful and miserable at the same time. Jung believed this inner split creates anxiety, irritability, and emptiness. Not because something is broken, but because something real has been ignored. Beneath the persona lives the part most people avoid. Carl Jung called it the shadow. The shadow contains everything you learned was unacceptable. Your anger, your jealousy, your selfishness, your desire for power, your ambition, your vulnerability. From childhood, you were taught what was allowed and what wasn't. Each time you were told don't be like that, a part of you was pushed away. Not healed, just hidden. To survive, you buried these traits. You learned to suppress them to stay loved. But what you suppress doesn't disappear. It goes underground. And what goes underground doesn't stay quiet. Jung warned that ignored parts of the psyche don't vanish. They return as symptoms. Sudden rage, passive aggression, self-sabotage, chronic guilt, emotional numbness. You think you're choosing these reactions. But you're not. They're choosing you. This is why people say things they don't mean. Why they overreact to small situations. Why they feel shame without knowing what they did wrong. Jung warned that pretending to be harmless doesn't make you good. It makes you unconscious. A person who is incapable of anger isn't peaceful. They're disconnected. Real strength comes from knowing what you're capable of and choosing consciously, not reactively. So how do you find the shadow? You don't look inward first. You look outward. You look at what triggers you. The people you judge instantly. The behaviors you despise without clear reason. The traits that make you feel irrationally irritated. Carl Jung called this projection. When something in someone else provokes a strong emotional reaction, it often points to a part of yourself you've disowned. If someone's confidence irritates you, you may have suppressed your own ambition. If someone's emotional openness feels uncomfortable, you may have disconnected from your own feelings. If someone's assertiveness feels threatening, you may have learned that standing up for yourself was dangerous. Your reactions are not flaws. They are signals. They show you where your energy has been locked away. This is why self-awareness isn't about being nicer. It's about being more honest. As you move deeper inward, Carl Jung identified another imbalance. The anima and animus. Within every person exist both receptive and assertive forces. Feeling and structure. intuition and direction, sensitivity and action. When these forces are balanced, you feel centered. When they're not, you feel lost. Too much logic without feeling creates rigidity. Too much feeling without structure creates chaos. Many people try to resolve this imbalance through relationships. They look for someone who carries what they lack. But Jung believed lasting stability comes from integration, not projection. When these inner forces align within you, your sense of direction returns. You stop overthinking. You stop drifting. You start responding instead of reacting. Carl Jung also observed that this loss of control often intensifies in midlife. Not because life is failing, but because the first strategy stopped working. The first half of life is about building identity, career, roles, status, approval. You learn how to function. But eventually, the psyche asks a different question. Is this actually me? When that question is ignored, people fall into depression or resentment. They feel restless, irritable, empty. Jung didn't call this a crisis. He called it a call to individuation, a shift from living by expectation to living by inner truth. This process is not comfortable. Jung studied ancient alchemy because it described psychological transformation, not turning metal into gold, but turning confusion into clarity. Alchemy requires heat. Psychologically, heat means tension, conflict, ambivalence. The instinct is always to escape discomfort, to numb it, to distract yourself. But Jung believed growth requires staying present. When you can hold opposing feelings without collapsing into one side, something new forms. Not clarity overnight, not certainty, but direction. This is how control slowly returns, not through force, but through integration. As this process begins, something else often appears. Meaningful coincidences, unexpected encounters, moments that feel timed. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, not magic, alignment. Inner movement reflected outward. When your inner life becomes more honest, your outer life begins responding differently. This path changes you, and society doesn't always like that. Carl Jung warned that individuated people are harder to manipulate. They don't move automatically with the crowd. They have an internal reference point. Even Jung himself went through years of psychological instability while doing this work. He didn't avoid it. He recorded it. And what he found was simple. The parts of you that feel threatening only become destructive when ignored. When acknowledged, they become guidance. So where do you begin? You don't start by fixing yourself. You start by listening. You notice your reactions, your emotional spikes, your recurring conflicts. Instead of suppressing them, you pause. Carl Jung practiced active imagination, a dialogue with the unconscious. You don't need to paint or write books. You only need honesty, your dreams, your slips, your emotional overreactions. They are not mistakes. They are messages. The goal is not perfection. Carl Jung never believed in perfection. He believed in wholeness. A person who knows their persona, has faced their shadow, has balanced their inner forces, and has built a relationship with the self. That person doesn't feel constantly lost. Even when life is uncertain, they feel internally grounded. We live in a world designed to distract you from this work. But the path is still there. It starts with a simple question. Who am I when no one is watching? And it continues with the courage to listen to answers you once avoided. Thank you for being here with me. Take care of your heart. And may love always guide your path.